Good morning, this is Connor from 0DTE Traders here to present our market minute for June 10th, 2024. It is 10:20 and the SPX is trading lower, down 0.1% to 53.41. There's a lot of mixed to neutral signals out here today. ADD negative 500, so fairly close to that zero handle. Volume difference at negative 1.2 to 1, fairly close to that 1-to-1 ratio. And sectors are undergoing mixed performance, which is generally an indication of low volatility, mean reversion. The implied move today is 0.7%, implied high of 53.83, implied low of 53.09. That is actually ticked lower to 0.6%, so those implied metrics have shifted in here slightly. So it doesn't look like participants are expecting a whole lot today. Tomorrow, options are also pricing in about a 0.6, 0.7% implied move. Going into the volatility events on Wednesday, which is CPI before the market opens, and then FOMC at 2 o'clock. So usually a couple days before, the market is in kind of wait and see mode. So we generally don't see a whole lot of activity or a little bit more volatility, but more mean reversion as traders undergo last-minute positioning. As far as levels, largely unchanged from last week. We have our flip at 53.45, the pivot at 53.50. I recall we closed essentially in this zone for 3 sessions in a row. Now above opens the door to 53.75. This is a gamma level and the all-time high printed in Friday's session. We are in a down-sloping structure here. I guess short-term trend is down, connecting that all-time high. So this is a structure we're paying attention to. Significant support on the downside, 53.25, followed by really 5300, which is the major support. This is the ABS and put wall. It looks like it's a little bit out of reach today, but if we get in close proximity, it could act as a magnet, which it usually does. Volatility, so VIX is something we're paying very close attention to. If you're a dip buyer today, the key to the upside is in vol contraction, whereas if volatility remains bid, so even if volatility doesn't move higher, but it just stays elevated, it's likely going to cap upside, so those pops are going to get sold. So pay close attention to the VIX today. Now, lastly, let's go over to our gamma charts and highlight this from a different perspective. Now, the options market is much more neutral than imbalanced, given the fact that we're trading around the flip of 53.45. All strikes below, or most strikes below, are negative, which is destabilizing. All strikes above are positive, which is supportive. You can see the significance of 53.50, 53.75, which is also the all-time high, and the call wall and upper bound at 5400. This is a logical upside target this week. As far as the downside goes, you can see that there's kind of a cluster of support here from 53.30 to about 53.15, but the major support lies at 5300, which is classified as the put wall, but it is also quite dominant here in terms of call gamma. So calls plus puts, it is the most significant strike. Lastly, in terms of catalysts today, well, there's not much. We got the 3-year note auction at 1 p.m., so something we want to pay attention to, particularly given that rates are on the rise and are impacting equity markets, particularly the Russell, right, the small caps. But other than that, today, tomorrow, there's not a whole lot to disrupt the balance of trade. All right, guys, that's all I have for you. If you're not a member and you're interested in learning more, you can visit our website at 0DTEtraders.com. Best of luck out there today.